Last night at approximately 8 p.m. on the 1600 block of South Caesar Drive, Milwaukee Police conducted a traffic stop in conjunction with an ongoing drug investigation. A 27-year-old Milwaukee male was taken in custody and conveyed to Milwaukee Police Department, District Number 2. While in custody, officers identified that the subject was in need of medical attention, believing he had recently taken a controlled substance. According to department policy, the subject was conveyed to a local hospital for medical care. After the subject was medically cleared by the hospital, he was conveyed back to NPD District Number 2. While at District Number 2, he had an additional medical emergency and was conveyed to a local hospital for treatment where he was ultimately pronounced deceased. According to department policy, 2 officers have been placed on administrative duty. One officer, who is 38 years old, with 6 years on the job. The second officer, who is 30 years old, with 3 years on the job. Pursuant to Milwaukee Police Department Standard Operating Procedure, a death of a person while in police custody will be investigated by an outside and independent law enforcement agency. This incident is being investigated by the Milwaukee Area Investigative Team, and the West Dallas Police Department is the investigating agency. A community briefing discussing this incident will be released in the future. Any further questions?
You said there was a first medical incident. Could you explain what that first incident was? Was it shortness of breath or a heart attack? Or?
We don't know the extent of it. This is still an ongoing investigation. Like I said, this is being investigated by an outside agency, so once we're able to learn what the medical examiner reports back, we'll have a better finding of what that was.
Were these officers part of a drug unit, and that's why that stop was made, or were they regular patrol officers?
These officers are part of a team that's considered part of a special team, but they are still patrol officers at District Number 2.
You said drugs were found during the traffic stop. What kind of drugs?
At this time, I don't know what the extent of the drugs. They are still part of the investigation. We need to make sure we can confirm through testing, but this is still an ongoing investigation.
Did you say it was Cesar Chavez Drive, or what was the address there?
Yes, 1600 block South Cesar Chavez Drive.
What hospital was he taken to the first time?
St. Francis Hospital is the location where he received medical treatment.
And where did he go the second time?
I believe it was at Freighter Hospital.
If he was taken twice, where was he put in District 2 that, or, not, after the first time, where was he put? Was he watched?
Well, it's under our understanding, and again, this is part of our protocol, the officers are with their individuals who are in custody. But every particular district has a temporary holding facility. But this is still an ongoing investigation as to the specifics of what happened and where. Again, that's something that will be reported out by the West Dallas Police Department.
But he wasn't in a squad car, he was inside District 2?
To my understanding, yes.
Chief, do you know that, did he ingest something between the 2 medical emergencies?
We still don't know the extent of how and what happened in regards to the particular drugs inside of him, but we are still, again, ongoing investigation to figure out what was the actual, how that happened. So that's still an ongoing investigation.
What prompted officers to take him back to the hospital? Was he conscious? Was he talking at that point?
I believe it's just a medical emergency. Again, the extent of what it was, not a doctor, so we're looking at it in regards to what the ME will reply back, but I know that there was things that caused the officer's concern, so he was taken back to be checked out or medically cleared again.
Was he alive when he was taken to Freighter?
Yes, he was.
Chief, could you maybe drill down a little bit more on the amount of time that elapsed between from when officers made contact with this person on South Cesar Chavez, and then, just that timeline of events, and then how long from that moment to ultimately being taken to Freighter?
Great question, but again, this is an ongoing investigation. I know that there is significant time points in this particular situation that we're still looking into, and once we are able to get clarity throughout the investigation, we'll be able to know exactly each particular point what happened throughout the evening. But with the investigative team from the West Dallas Police Department, they'll be able to give us a better clarity about what happened throughout the evening.
Was he pronounced dead before midnight, or early this morning?
What was that, sir? I'm sorry.
Was he pronounced dead before midnight, or was it early this morning when he was actually declared dead?
The team will follow up with that particular answer. I don't know the exact time of pronouncement.
First medical emergency, when he was being treated at the hospital, was there enough space, adequate resources? Was he discharged because he was healthy at the time?
Hard to say in regards to what was the actual, what was his state at the time. We are looking at it quite closely. I know that West Dallas is doing all that particular follow-up interviews with the medical staff, but ongoing investigation, unfortunately, so that's hard to answer on that.
What about the
The two
name of the
officers
victim?
who were placed on administratively, what role did they play throughout the whole sequence of events?
So I know they're a part of the investigation. Actual what they did still is, being looked into. I know that with the team, we're giving everyone access to interviews to ensure what was their particular role.
Was
What
there
kind
only
of
two
history did he
officers?
have with law enforcement?
And who is that
The
question?
27-year-old, what kind of history did he have in terms of law enforcement prior to this?
Unknown at this time. I know that, there's still ongoing investigation in regards to what the background is, so.
This could have been a random stop, not necessarily somebody on your radar.
No, this is not random, but basically there was some, again, investigation going on in regards to this.
Was there
Was
the
it-
same two
Thanks,
officers,
guys.
wait, was there the same two officers
Thank you.
involved from start to
Organized crime
finish?
unit.